This video will be long, so grab a snack, grab something to drink, and let's go through 25 books. Hello and welcome to my channel, The Danish Readaholic. My name is Silka and today we're doing a book haul. The heat is not working with me today. I have a fan on. Can't feel it, but it's there. So if there's like a background noise, that's probably it. All the windows are open as well, and then I have my water, which is needed. I have 25 books that I've acquired since Christmas. Some of them are Christmas presents. Some of them are multiple different types of stuff that I've also gotten. And then there is a birthday present as well, because it was my birthday here, the 14th of July. All right, I think without further ado, we should just get into it. I'll try and be brief because there is a lot of books. It's 26. But yeah, I will try and be brief. If there are some books that I can talk about together, I will do that, so on and so forth. The first book that I have here on my little long book haul is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I don't know what this is about. I think I heard that it is like a romantasy and there's something with gargoyles in it. I'm not sure, but it sounded interesting. I'm in a romantasy book club that my local library does, and they had like a book cafe where they also introduced that they were going to do a book club. So we haven't really officially started yet. We're going to start in August. I'm going to ask if I can maybe film so that you can see how that would work. But yeah, they mentioned this one and I was like, I've been interested in it for a while, but just haven't really gotten my hands on it, and then I decided to just buy it. But yeah, so that is the first book in my haul. I know that the first book we're going to do in the book club is actually Kingdom of the Wicked, and I'm so excited. It was my suggestion. So I was like, yay. The next one is a book that I've seen a million times on TikTok. And then I had gotten some points because you earn points at my like local bookshop every time you buy something. And then I just didn't know how the point system worked. And then I was there and the lady informed me that like I had 300 points. So basically I could buy a book for 150 Danish krona, which would be equivalent to maybe 16 pounds-ish. The books in Denmark are a lot more expensive than the books in the UK. So it will probably only buy you one book, but still nice. So I actually ended up getting this book and not having to pay anything for it, so yay. But the book is Smoke and Scar by Gretchen Powell Fox. And once again, I don't really know what this book is about. I bought it because of the vibes that I saw on TikTok and like the what's it called, character art and everything that I saw. And you know what? I might want to keep it that way. It looks really cool. I like the cover. I don't think I have much else to say. I'm excited to get into this book. There is like a there's like a little character art thing in the book, which is also nice. And then we also have like a glossary and places and humans and all of that stuff. So yeah, excited. Next up, we have a book series, so I can talk about that together. And that is Daughter of the Pirate King by Tricia Levenseller. I got these secondhand on Vinted. So I basically read the first one, which I really enjoyed. It's like a pirate fantasy thing where we follow Alosa, who is the daughter of the feared Pirate King. She is then sent on a mission. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so she must retrieve an ancient hidden map, the key to a legendary treasure trove. The catch, Alosa needs to conceal her considerable combat skills and allow herself to be captured by her enemies, giving her the perfect opportunity to search the ship. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So now I just need to get on with it and continue the series. So we have The Daughter of the Pirate King, which is the first one. I already had that as a hardback, but I really love these paperbacks that Tricia Levenseller did for all of her books, so I'm trying to collect all of them. Then we have Daughter of the Siren Queen, which is the second one, and Vengeance of the Pirate Queen, which is the third one, and the newer one, I think, that was written a couple of years after the actual series had ended. Have those three as well. What are we doing now? Let's do this one, because I can do that quite briefly, I think. I have also gotten Snotgirl, Volume 4, which I didn't know existed, because I thought that I had finished this series. Apparently not. So there we go. I was out shopping with a couple friends of mine, and then we went into this bookstore that has a lot of like comic books and graphic novels and stuff. I was just looking about at the Image section, like the publishing house, and then all of a sudden I was like, what is that? Is there a fourth volume in Snotgirl? I thought I'd finished it. So obviously I had to get my hands on it. Snotgirl is a kind of a contemporary, but there's also like a thrillery kind of twist, or like a murder mystery kind of twist to it. Some type of mystery. But we basically follow, I don't remember what her actual name is, Lottie. Her name's Lottie. And the reason that it's called Snotgirl is because like she's an influencer, but she also has hay fever. So that is the Snotgirl aspect of it all. But yeah, so I'm really excited to do this. I'm planning on doing a 48-hour readathon, or like a reading marathon with myself and potentially my boyfriend this month as like my vlog. So I think Snotgirl, as long as like some other one of these books here, will be some of the books that I'm attempting to read in those 48 hours, because I would like to read something a little shorter, you know? It makes sense for like that type of readathon or reading challenge thing. So next book we have is this one, Not Even Bones by Rebecca Schaeffer. I wanted to read some of Rebecca Schaeffer's like backlist after having read, what's it called? City of Nightmares. Because I love City of Nightmares, and I was like, I'll go check out some of her older stuff. So I stumbled upon Not Even Bones, which is basically about a girl. It is kind of an urban fantasy, I would say, because it takes place in the real world, but then there's all these kind of unnaturals, as they call them. So it's like, there's not vampires, but it could potentially be like vampires. I don't think that there's vampires in it. I honestly don't remember now that I'm saying it. But basically, let me just take the bookmark out. She dissects these unnaturals, like her mother captures them, kills them, and then she dissects them, and they sell them on the black market, which is wild. And the thing that I find funny is that she listens to Disney music while dissecting people, but like, what the hell? And then through a series of events, she then ends up as something that you can buy on the black market. Like, she doesn't die, but she's captured, put in a cage, and then put for sale on the black market. And basically the entire first book just centers around that, and the fact that she's trying to escape but not really sure how she should escape, because she's kind of frail and doesn't really have any fighting skills at all, because all she does is dissect people. I don't know, I found that really interesting, and I haven't really read a book similar to this, and I really like the characters in it. So yeah, I am definitely trying to get my hands on the second and the third book in the series. So I think whenever I get paid next, I will buy them. But it also just made me realize that, for example, with Rebecca Schaeffer, she might actually just be one of my like favorite authors, instead of just City of Nightmares being one of my favorite series. You know what I mean? So if there's an author where I'm like, I love what they've done, like I love the writing in this, blah, 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 I'll look into backlist or maybe newer releases and something like that, and then see if I will also like the other series, or if it was just that particular series. So it's the same thing I did with Trisha Levenseller, Chloe Gong, Chris Colfer. Speaking of Chris Colfer and Chloe Gong, let's get those out of the way as well. I got this one, Roswell Johnson Saves the Galaxy, which is the sequel to Roswell Johnson Saves the World. I've already talked a little bit about this because I mentioned in my TBR that I was going to read it this month. Now I have it in my grasp. This might also be one of the ones that I'm going to attempt in my 48-hour readathon. I've been very back and forth with whether I should do it as an audiobook or as a physical book, because Chris Colfer does narrate the audiobook, but I think I'm gonna do physical because there's like a lot of pictures and stuff in it, and like some text messages and stuff. And I think, yeah, I think I'm gonna do that as a physical book. Next up, we have Chloe Gong. We have Cold Wire. I got this. I think I got it on Vinted as well. This is the Fairy Loot one. I didn't pay like that much. It definitely could have been more expensive because Fairy Loot on Vinted is wild. But yeah, so I got this one because I really liked, or I prefer this cover to both the UK and the US cover of Cold Wire. I wanted to get this pretty edition also because it's Chloe Gong. I haven't read it yet. I actually don't really know what it's about, and that's fine. I don't want to. I like, especially with Chloe Gong's books, I like going into them blind. But if you're interested in it, go have I'll link all of the books down below. I have to change the battery now. Oh well. But Cold Wire. So I went to change my battery, figured out that I hadn't actually charged any of my batteries, so I had to wait for like an hour to be able to continue with this. So the next two I'll do together because they're part of a series. So I have these two. So Down Among the Sticks and Bones and Beneath the Sugar Sky, both by Shauna Maguire. I have read both of these this year. I had actually already read them before, but I'm trying to finish up this series, or at least be up to date with it. And then now I've read the ones that I own, but then again, I'm also listening to them as audiobooks. So yeah, it should be fine. These follow like home for children that have been to different types of worlds, similar to Alice in Wonderland and the Kids from Narnia and stuff. And I really like the premise. And then it's like every other book takes place in like current time. So the first one took place in current times, where our main character in the first book, called Nancy, she shows up to this home, and we're kind of introduced to the home and all of the terminology that they use and stuff like that. And then we have books like this one that is like the backstory of some of the kids at the home. So you'll follow them in their world, which I think is a really interesting premise, and I just really like these books. And they're not the longest in the world, and I like that as well. So yeah, I'll have to get my hands on more of these, but they are quite expensive. Well, books in general are expensive in Denmark, so. All right, where do we go next? Let's do this one, because that's also a recent purchase. I've gotten Half City by Kate Golden, and this really, really nice paperback. It's not that floppy though, but that's fine. I like it regardless. I believe that this is like I don't want to say dark academia kind of thing, but I know that it's a school for assassins, and I think that, or demon hunters. And I think that that's really cool. It says, "Welcome to Harka Academy for deviant defense. Keep your dagger sharp and your wits even sharper." But again, I'm kind of trying to go into this one blind as well. All I know is that it takes place as this like academy, and I find that really interesting. So yeah, this is also probably one of the books that I will try and read this month, possibly as like a long book in the 48-hour readathon. But I'm trying to compile like a stack of books that I think I will be able to do in that span of time, but we'll see, because I don't have that many short books left that I haven't read. So that's the issue with doing like that type of readathon. So oh well, we're moving on. Next book I have is Lark by Alex Astor. This one I will put on Vinted today. I finished it yesterday. It wasn't that I thought it was bad per se. It just wasn't for me, and I was bored a majority of the book. I buddy read this with a friend of mine, and we started out reading the book physically, and then we looked at each other and we're like, "Do you understand a word of what's going on?" And I was like, "No." So we both switched to audiobooks so that someone would read it to us. And that helped with understanding, but I still felt like a majority of the book, like all of the issues that, or like the problems, the obstacles, they're easily solved. And I didn't like that. And yeah, it just wasn't really for me. I liked the last bit, but again, I felt like it was a little bit easy. And then, yeah, I also kind of feel like the love triangle or something is a little bit forced. So yeah, there's a lot of things that I just kind of didn't really enjoy. So I'm putting this on Vinted today, and am a little bit sad that I spent money on it. But oh well, you can't love every single book that you get, and Lark just wasn't for me. And I did buy it knowing that it had a lot of mixed reviews. So maybe I should have filled up my water bottle before doing this. All right, another recent purchase is this one, A Fate Inked in Blood. I believe that this is like a Viking thing. It doesn't really have a blurb anywhere. Yes, it is. It is a shield maiden blessed by the gods, battles to unite a nation under a power-hungry king while fighting her growing desire for his fiery son in this Norse-inspired fantasy romance. And like, I want to read more like Viking-inspired books because I love the Vikings and I love like the Norse mythology, so I felt like that was fitting. And I've been eyeing this for a while. So when I decided to go and buy some books, I got a gift card for this online bookshop. So when I decided to go and buy some books, I was like, this is at the top of my list. But sometimes I can actually find it quite difficult to figure out which books I should get, because I do have so many that are at the top of my list. But I've been eyeing this for a while and I'm excited to read it. Next up is my most recent book, and that is a book that I got for my birthday. Well, my birthday was Tuesday, so. And that is this one, Heartstopper, Volume 6. And I'm not sure if it's the last one or whatever. I'm just kind of going with the flow, and whenever there's a new one, I get it. This is definitely one of the books I will be reading for the 48-hour reading challenge, because it's a graphic novel. And I'm really excited to see where the characters go. I don't remember much. It has been 2 years since I read the 5th one, but I usually get quite quickly like back into them, so I don't think I have to reread the entire thing to understand what's going on in this one. But it's cute. I'm excited. It's not my typical genre, but I like it now and again. Which leads me on to something that is also not my typical genre. These I also bought secondhand on Vinted, and only after having received them, I realized that they're not like necessarily the same edition. I think one of them might be the, what's it called? The indie published book, and the other one has been after it has been picked up by a publishing house. So we have Collide and Spiral by Belcabra, I think. So this one is the one that's been picked up. You can feel the difference in the printing and also kind of see it a little bit on the quality of the print, but I actually don't mind it one bit. I have been trying to start this, but I was kind of going into a reading slump when I got them, or when I started them, so I didn't really get that far. But it's basically a hockey romance. Both of them are. So the first one follows, I don't remember their names, Aiden and Summer. And Summer is, I think she's going to be his tutor or something. And then in this one, we follow Elias and Sage. And I'm guessing from the cover that Sage is a ballerina, which I think is really cool. I like the whole dynamic. For example, what I like from Icebreaker was that she also had a sport, and she was like, I don't know, a high level ice skater or something. And I like when both the characters has their own sport. And I think that in the third book in the series, it's also ice skating and hockey. So I like that. I think I'm gonna like this one more than this one, but I want to read this one first because it is the first in a series, obviously. So, but I'm loving the whole sports romance kind of thing. And I'm definitely also going to read the off-campus series because I haven't, but yes, but I do like the icebreaker series, and now I'm going to do this one next, and then I have a couple more lined up. But I'm definitely like the romances that I'm most interested in is definitely like the hockey romances, or where at least one of the characters has like any type of sport. It's better when both of them has like an elite sport thing. That is the ones that I prefer, but oh well. So if you have any good recommendations, the only ones that I'm not really that interested in is basketball and American football. And I don't know why. Maybe also like golf. I wouldn't be interested in that. But like hockey, I even saw one that was like a Formula 1 thing. I saw one that was like where she did gymnastics. I'm so intrigued by that. But mostly hockey. Hockey or soccer. I think those are, because soccer I can relate to. I've seen it all my life. And hockey I've learned a bit about through reading this. And I also kind of think that it's an interesting sport. So if you have any recommendations, throw them my way. And then we'll see when I get to it. Then I have kind of 3 piles left, which kind of makes sense with the theme. So we're going to start out with this one, which I will call like pirate themed books, because I've gotten a lot of those recently, because I think pirate books are very nice and interesting. So the first one you've probably already seen because I did it in my TBR, and I started it yesterday, and I'm already liking it. So we have this one, A Wraith Beneath the Tides by Emilia J. I've seen it all over TikTok, basically, and that was why I was interested in it, because she kept saying that it was like a Sinbad meets Atlantis with a bit of Pirates of the Caribbean. And I was just like, that's like 3 of my favorite things, especially Sinbad. I've always wanted to read like books that are very similar to Sinbad, The Legend of the Seven Seas, I think it's called. It's one of my favorite animated movies. And already having only been 130 pages in, I am so hyped for this. I can feel the vibes, both of Atlantis and definitely also of Sinbad, and I'm loving it. So far, it's like a siren and prince who is a captain. But he's not like, yeah, I don't know. He's the second-born son of a tyrant king. There it is. So he's second-born, and you can feel that in the dynamic between the king and then our main male love interest. So yeah, I am loving this so far, and I'm hoping that it will just keep getting better. Next up, you might have also seen on my TBR, and that is Bloody Black by Rhiannon Hargathon. I don't know how to say the name, but this is a what was it? Come on, a Blackbeard retelling, and I don't have the blurb here, so I'm gonna, as I said, with all of the books, I'm gonna leave a link to it down below so you can go check it out. But this one basically says, I was a good girl, minded my manners, said please and thank you, never did any harm. Before him the world was good, small perhaps, but good, unbroken. When I was young my heart was full and red, now it's bloody black. I'm intrigued by this, and also there's this, I think I also showed it, but we have this picture of like the crew, and I'm so excited. Like literally so excited for this goddamn book. So I'm gonna finish A Wraith Beneath the Tides, and then I'm gonna do Bloody Black afterwards. For final pirate book, we have Metal Slinger. Don't know much about it, in all honesty. Don't really want to know much about it, so I'm just kind of showing it, being like, I've acquired this as well. I've heard good things. Not heard good things about the second one in the series, but oh well. You know what? The font is actually quite big in this one, so I might do that for the 48 hours. We'll see what I feel like, if I want to finish off my piratey shelf. But yeah, heard good things. Seen some fan art, I think, of the characters. Don't know if there's anything in here. There's not. And yeah, was intrigued, went and bought it along with the other ones. So here we are. Next time I'm gonna do the Fairy Loots because I did quit my Fairy Loot YA subscription in September probably. And then I was on the wait list for the Romantasy. So I have 2 that have gotten here so far. I'm also on the wait list for the Cozy Fantasy. So when I get off that wait list, I'll have to kind of figure out if I'm going to do one or the other or if I'm going to do both. But we'll figure that out eventually. So the first book that I got was Verity Guild. Looks like this. By May Corlin. I don't know. I'm intrigued, but I'm not like, this will be my next read. It is definitely beautiful and definitely a book I will get to because, as I said, I will need to figure out if I'm going to keep the subscription or not. And the second book I've gotten so far, it's definitely something that I think is more up my alley, despite it having been like a vampire-y thing, but I don't think it's that vampire heavy, but I don't know. It's called The Assassin's Way by J.M. Girl, I think. And it says, never go out at night, lock the doors, ignore the screams. Those are the rules Asara lives by to survive the monsters that stalk her village. But everything changes when it's revealed that she was born with the power to fight the vampires she spent her life fearing. And then she is basically thrust into a secretive league of assassins and so on and so forth. And it looks so cool. So I think this, like if you're doing having not read it yet, by the way, but this seems like the way to do vampires in a way that I like it. I don't know. I'm still trying out like vampire books, even though I'm not usually the biggest fan of them. Let me just kind of speed run maybe the last ones that I have. So because I don't know anything about them, I got them based on vibes. They're Christmas presents, so I added them to my wish list based on the vibes of them. So first up, to no surprise, I think, I've got Alchemized. I'm excited for it. I have a friend or a couple friends who've read Manacled. So I've heard good things about Manacled, and hopefully this will also be really good. I haven't really heard bad things about Alchemized yet, but I just have to pull myself together and get on with this huge book. Like, it doesn't even look that big considering that it's like 1,000 pages, but this is one of the ones that I'll probably do as an audiobook instead. But it is absolutely beautiful. I've got a little hardback edition here, and it is with printed, like digitally sprayed edges probably, and I love it. It's beautiful. Voidwalker. I saw a video of someone talking about Voidwalker, or at least like unboxing the Illumicrate, I think, edition of it. I was really intrigued by the premise and everything, and I loved this cover. Then I went to see if I could buy it. Well, obviously I could. It's a book. I can buy it. But I didn't really like the actual cover of it. So I added this one to my wish list. And then my boyfriend went and bought it for me. And I actually don't know what it's about. And I'm like, I don't remember what it's about. And now, having forgotten it, I'm also not gonna reread what it's about. But it looks really cool. And it is so beautiful. And don't remember, like, look at this. She looks really cool. I'm excited to read this and see what it's about. Like, I knew what it was about, but now I've forgotten. 2 books left. And the first one we have is Direbound. I have started this, but again, I got into a reading slump, so I stopped it. But I'm really intrigued by the whole direwolves. And like, I think it's something with like having a companion or something. This is like, it's a beautiful, beautiful edition. But I think it's just a regular edition. But I am definitely like so intrigued by this and will read it this year, hopefully soon, because like it seems really cool. It is probably one of the books that I have that I'm most excited for. But then again, kind of changes every single day, I think. All right, final book, and then I have to go edit, and it's getting so warm in here. I'm dying. All right, so the final book is a book that I got from my brother for Christmas, I'm pretty sure. And that is this one, Iron and Embers by Helen something I will not try and pronounce because I know I can't. Once again, a romantasy. Also kind of looks cool under the dust jacket, just with like printed stuff. And again, don't really know what it's about, but I can read at the back. It says, I've made no secret of what I want. You is always been you. And we like that. So a lot of romantasy, actually a lot of mixed things this round, but primarily romantasy. I feel like the books that I'm getting are getting a little older, but I'm also not really 100% sure that that's correct. But yeah, that was my haul for now. I'm sorry if it became a little rushed, but talking about 25 books is a bit much. 26. Normally, I would do a limit at 10 books and then do a haul, which is also what I'm going to do from now on. But they just kept compiling, and I was like, I need to get this haul done and talk about all of these books. So in the future, when I'm doing hauls, I will definitely do more in depth and probably read every single blurb, unless there are some books that I specifically do not want to read the blurb of and want to go into blind. Because it happens. There's a few in here as well. So yeah. But this one was a little bit of a bigger haul, so a little less information about all the books, and I hope that's okay. Everything will be linked down below so you can find it and check it out. I think that's it. So thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like telling me if there's any of these books that you have read. If so, what did you think of them? And also if there's a book that you think I should check out. Yes, because I'm always looking for new recommendations. If you just want to let me know that you're here but don't know what to comment, just leave a book emoji of some sort. Yeah. And once again, thank you so much for watching, and until I see you next time,